Okay, so by now, hopefully you have heard the single Mississippi Sinner. This video is kind of a deep dive, a peek behind the curtain, behind the scenes into Mississippi Sinner for all of you super music fans out there. I know I geek out on kind of getting behind the scenes of a song and understanding why it was created in the first place. So I'm gonna go over like 4 different things: the timing of it, the writing of it, the inspiration behind it, and then the recording of it. So first, the timing of it. This song was written almost 5 years ago. It was actually written before my first EP came out. In fact, I was recording the EP, driving back and forth between Santa Rosa, California, where I was living, in LA, where the EP was being recorded, when the inspiration for this song struck. It was a time in my life where I had recently discovered the Civil Wars. Their second album was out, and on this long 7-8 hour drive that I was doing by myself, I listened to the second Civil Wars album like the whole way. It just cut straight to my heart. The lyrics, the melodies, the subject matter, all of it. I just fell in love with their music and head over heels, just totally head over heels with their music. And I was feeling so inspired by that. And on this long drive home from recording, listening to Civil Wars, I got home, ran upstairs, got my guitar out of the car, and then ran upstairs, and tuned my guitar to some open tuning, and this song poured out. I want to say it was written in like 20 minutes, maybe an hour, but it was so fast. And songs don't always come out that fast. Sometimes they do, but this one was particularly fast. And it was so cathartic, just like getting it out of my system somehow felt connected and easy and in the flow. And I realize now, after the writing of it, why I was so inspired to write it. And it's trifold, really. It was listening to the Civil Wars and just being so inspired by them. Cher's song, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, which has a similar theme. I grew up listening to Cher and loved her early stuff and saw her in concert, by the way, and she was amazing. So good. She had like 10 costume changes and was totally fabulous. And then the third, which is a little harder to articulate, well, I grew up on the Mississippi, so the scenery, like where the song takes place, is not hard at all because that's where I grew up until I was 18 or 19. I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa, right near the river. So the scenery was very natural. I did not get pregnant before I was married, but I had friends that did, and I had a family member that did. And I grew up in a pretty religious household. Both sides of my family actually were pretty religious, and I remember hearing the news and kind of that cloud of judgment that so often happens in religious families. And I'm not here to slam anybody. I'm telling my experience, and I don't want to judge them for that either, because you do what you know. But the pain and the loneliness and the magnitude of the realization of like raising a child for a girl that's very young and doesn't have the support she needs, and then she's being judged for it. It was just it was more weight than I could handle, and it wasn't even happening to me. And so I think that experience of that vicarious personal experience, my dog decided to join me, was imprinted so deeply on my heart that the writing of this song was not only cathartic, it allowed me to empathize on a level that I don't know that I would have been able to empathize on before. And it's just a reminder to me too that we don't need to sit in judgment of other people. We need to sit in their pain with them and love them. There's no, when you look into somebody's eyes and you hear their story and you feel their pain with them, there's no room for judgment. There's no space there. And so this song was this like beautiful moment of me feeling that connection with these women who I hadn't experienced their experience, but I had felt inklings of what it felt like. So that was the inspiration in the subject matter, the Civil Wars, Cher, and then that vicarious personal experience. And I took the song after it was freshly written to my writing partner, Michael Capella, whom I just adore. And I kind of plopped it on his lap and was like, what do you think? And he thought that there was something special there. And at that point, he helped me edit it down. He added the amazing guitar lick that makes the song, which is dun, 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 dun. And we knew we had something special. We knew we had something really special. And I wanted to record it right away, but we had already decided on the songs that were going to be in the first EP. And at that point, I knew I was going to be moving to Georgia, which a whole video series about kind of my musical journey will be forthcoming. Just to let you guys know in case you're interested, and to have the personal account of it for me and my children when I'm 80. But I thought I'd record it in Georgia when I moved in 2014, and it's 2018 and it's just been finished. And so I told you about the timing, I told you about the writing of the song, which was super fast, I told you about the inspiration, and now I want to talk to you about the recording of the song, which was so natural and fluid. Michael did the guitar, John came in on the viola, Owen did the bass, Jonathan Beck did the drums and the tambourine part. It was so fluid, and I was the last one to come in to record the final vocal. And it was Easter Sunday, which I don't think is an accident. And the song just was birthed. It was like all of those feelings and years of holding it in came out in that moment, and it was really vulnerable. It was only Owen and I in the studio, but I remember having to stop a couple of times because I kept crying while I was singing it, just feeling the pain of so many women in my lifetime, but lifetimes before me. And so the experience of recording it was just so beautiful. I felt so connected, and that's why I create music. That's why I love to perform music. It's to connect with other people. And so the whole experience of creating the song was, it reminded me of why I love music so much. And the process of getting the song out has been a labor of love. It's been almost 5 years. I've recorded it multiple times and been on the verge of releasing it multiple times, and for one reason or another it just completely disintegrated and fell apart. But I knew that this song had to get out. And I say all that to tell you that if you want to do something, even if it takes 5 years, and hopefully it won't take that long, but even if it takes longer, I want you to know that it's worth it. And that the snafus along the way, recording it multiple times, band members falling apart, and again, I'll go into more detail on this in another video, just getting it digitally distributed, the timeline was all screwed up and the digital distribution company messed it up. I've had a bunch of technical difficulties in the process of releasing this particular song too. It's just felt like there's some force against me that didn't want this song to get out. And for any of you out there that want to put something out, you know that feeling. There's always, when you're on the verge of something, there's always darkness before the dawn. And so I tell you all of this to say, if there's something that you want to do it. If you believe in it, if it is in your guts that it needs to get out, then it's your responsibility to make that happen. Don't let anything stand in your way. It may take 5 years, and hopefully it won't. But even if it does, it's still going to be worth it. Even if nobody listens to Mississippi Sinner, the fact that I got to create it and experience the joy that I felt in creating it was worth all of the headache. So whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. I believe in you. And thank you. Thank you for watching this video if you're still here. Thank you for participating in this content. And thank you for being you. Your time and attention are not lost on me, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Light and love and peace.